What is up, Lost World crew? We're out here again, Owens Valley. The Sierras in the backdrop, and we're in a familiar place. We've run 2 mines in this location, and we're gonna hit the last one. So if you go back, you can check out the reward and the brown monster, and we actually end up connecting and coming through this whole mountain. But today we're gonna be going up there, and I'll zoom in a second, but there's a tramway that runs up, and you can see there's rail up there, and I believe it's a newer mine that was worked after these guys. But before I zoom in, tramway would come down. Right here, there used to be probably some kind of ore bin, processing stuff, and it would come across, go out here, and then you can see where the foundation was, where they had an old mill site in this location. This used to be a massive mill site, and I'll put up an old picture. But that was for the brown monster, and that's the brown monster's ore chutes and bins that would be loaded onto the truck. But let me zoom in real quick and show you where we're going, and so you guys can see the tramway. All right, looking up the hill, you can see the tram towers, the cable, and the station. That looks like there's a track coming out too that would feed it into the aerial buckets up there. So that's where we're heading today. It's gonna be a nice little hike, and I'll turn you guys on when we get up around that area, show you what's going on, get you up there. All right, we're about just a third of the way up. Made it to the brown monster ore bin, but I wanted to show you guys what we're going to be walking on. You can see that pathway. It's all hand stacked, which is pretty rad. And it looks like there's a water pipe or air pipe running out that direction. But that's where we're going, and then around the corner and up on top is where the top point is. So I'll turn you on when we get up there and show you what it looks like standing on it. Again, epic view, man. Just an epic view. It's a nice day today. It's not too warm. I think it's supposed to get up in to the upper 80s, low 90s. Last couple days it's been nice and cool, so it's a good day to run this one. Not in the extreme heat. All right, I'll turn it on when we get over there. Okay, as I was walking, I noticed that there is some track jutting off there above the walkway that I was pointing out earlier. Now, just looking at it, just ends. But you can see there's like a straight line running this direction, which I believe it dumped into probably a cart, ran down this, and then ran into another chute, and then would get pushed down here and could be run out on the brown monster ore chutes. It's pretty cool. I wonder if it's coming from that upper tramway. We shall see. I just wanted to point that out. I just saw that. That was cool. All right. We've made it to the stacked walkway. Going that direction. We're right next to that chute that I was just pointing out a second ago with the track coming off up there. So we're gonna do a little speed walk on this walkway, and I'll turn you on a little ways down the road. All right, just getting in view of the tramway. And she's like a couple 100 feet up. See the narrow gauge running into her. There's our first tower there. Almost looks like a track tie in the middle. We are going to continue around this way and see if there's an easier way up, because that's pretty steep. So I might just go around. If there ain't a way up, I'll just take the ridge. But looking down, there's the next tower in all her beauty. And then there's where we started down there. And where the ore would be sent into those guys, where the mill used to be. Well, okay, let's speed it up and continue around that way. Before I speed us up, just imagine hand stacking all this rock. Like I said, every time I come to a mine, I'm always just blown away by the amount of work, the hard work these dudes put in. I mean, from the mining to getting this equipment, to building this stuff, to building the roads, to just finding the spot that they're gonna mine. I mean, it was some hard work. And prices nowadays are crazy. I mean, back in the day, it was spotty. So they weren't making $5,000 an ounce like they are now. Might have been 36 bucks, even less. So it just blows my mind every time. But let's speed it up and get around this corner here and see if there's a walkway going up. Just coming up onto the cables, actually. Looking up. So we're almost there. Right, speed it up. All right, looks like we're coming up to our first something, but there's a stacked run going down. So I wonder if they had a chute going down, or if they were pulling carts up and down on track. Yeah, who knows, all the infrastructure's gone besides for the stacked wall. I'm gonna say they had a winch system and they were pulling carts up and down. That's just a thought. So let's get around this corner, look up, and see what we can see. We can see ridge. So let's get to the top. I'll turn you guys on when we get up there. I can see a little pile right there, so maybe we're pretty close. I'll turn you guys on when we get up there. All right, just getting to the first knob. Looks like a little prospect hole we came across. Looking down on the built walkway. No ore bin over there. And we've almost made it. Two more little knobs. We'll be there. Turn you on when we get up there. All right, we made it to the mine. There is a little collapse in there, but it runs out this way. Lots of stalls. And they literally just punched this thing on top of the ridge here. So I'm wondering how far they sank it. But before we run in there, let's follow the track to the tramway. Right would have been their waste rock. And then heading out here left is going to the tram. Now I know the Monster Brown and Reward were gold mines. primarily gold. They did pull silver and copper out and lead. So I'm assuming, I mean, this is sink in on this quartz vein right here that you can see. This beautiful quartz vein. So they were just chunking at that. So I'm assuming this is a gold mine as well, primary. We'll just follow the track out here. And this vein just ran across. As you can see, it's just punched in, going along it. That looks like it goes pretty good in there. Looks like an air pipe, and then it was gauged down. Oh, sweet. So ore would come over, dump into the ore bin right here. We got a winch or hoist for the aerial tramway. They got it anchored. Single drum hoist, looks like. Oh, sorry, I was pointing it up. And yep, the aerial carts would come up right underneath this ore bin here. They'd open it up and then send it back down. And I'm wondering, I wonder if this was a counterweight one where one going down would, the one coming up would slow the one going down. I don't know. Pretty rad, but again, to get this up here, I don't know, that's a circular thing with bands. Assuming it's a water tank. Was a water tank at one point. That's what it looks like. Cool. Well, let's go see how far we can get into the mine here. Right. All right, we're gonna work our way backwards. So we're gonna run right off the ore bin here into this first stope section. Again, we got the rad code RC110 just to see if we catch anything. Normal. All right. Heading in. Give me 1 second, I need to play around with some. All right, just heading in. Lots of rock falling here. What the fuck? Why is it screaming at me? I need to play around with this more. Okay. All right, let's head in. Some crazy copper vein over there. Very short. continues down. Oh, ankle breaker in here. Some cool looking stuff. Look at the crystals in there. Whoa. Hope this is able to pick it up. That's a beautiful specimen right there. Looks like we got an old oil can. Mucking plate. Again, just some rad stuff. Super cool. Sounds like there's a bird down there squeaking. Before we continue that way, let's check out what's over here. Just a pocket. Let's head further in. Man, there's some cool stuff in here. Looks like we're getting to a level that break my ankle. Alright, ends over here. Far down does that go? It goes down 20 feet, stops. Looks like we got some yellow stuff, uranium, and right here we got galena. .9. Just a little elevated. Nothing to write home about. Someone prospected, but this all right here, this chunk, that's galena, and there's some galena up in there as well with this sulfur type stuff. Okay, now we're gonna head this direction, which is west. How do I know that? Because the Sierras are over there, so heading towards theirs. It's west. It's this. Looks like something cool. Oh yeah. I need to change the settings on this rad code. It is vibrating like crazy. It's just barely higher than what's outside. And it's freaking out. What's that? So there's some copper in there. Oxidized. I just saw that gold color thing. Looks like rust. All right. Coming in. And again, it stops right here. There's this sweet vein that they were chipping away at. Oh. Pretty cool. Rad. All right, let's make it back out to the surface and continue to the next stoped out section. All right, before we head out, I'm gonna try and capture this on my phone. I think my phone does a better job getting these really close-ups. Just some pretty stuff. Sparkles. Pretty rad. Alright, let's head to the next section. We'll make it out of here at some point, but I just keep seeing cool stuff. Look at those crystals in there. This whole chunk. That's one you want to get out of here. All right, let's make it out now. Okay, made it down just a little ways more to the next entry point. She's spiked a little more. So we'll keep an eye on her. This one looks really small, short. Let's see if there's anything in there. I need to change this settings on here. It is just going off thinking I'm dying. I need to set it so it doesn't just keep vibrating on me. And it looks like it just goes down into a little pit, little pocket that was down there. It's a small little crawl hole going over to where we just came from. So I'm not going to squeeze through there. I don't know what it's picking up. It's picking up the rat poop. Radiated rats. They're monsters. Okay. Well, that didn't lead us too far. So let's head to the next point and see if this keeps rising. Alright, made it to where we started, where the track runs in. So since the track runs in here, I'm assuming this is the biggest section. Radio code is dropped, so there's something in that pocket. But yeah, let's see if we can get past this little collapse here and see where the track takes us. Tight one. Kind of looks like it just drops off. There's track there. So let's squeeze over this hantavirus rock. Oh. Very cool view looking out. Going underneath this looks like very unstable ceiling. Very low too. Let's get past this section, should be good. There's light showing. Must be another leg in down here. back up snug. All right, very small and leads right out. Nothing, I thought it would have been a lot bigger with the track running in here. Maybe this is the last section they worked. They started closer to the ore bin tramway and then worked their way down. Theory. The closest one, the first one we went in, had the coolest geology to look at. Second one, second hole had higher or elevated radiation. And this one is just kind of basic. It's still rad. A little copper chunk up in there. Tons of crystals. Oh no. So my GoPro will catch it. But lots of crystals in there. Just real dirty from dust. Another little pocket that runs in about 20 feet. Let's see where this takes us out. It's right on the other side. There's the road that goes to the reward. Reward, you'll go in, drop down, come out where that brown monster is. If you guys haven't seen those two, they're pretty epic videos. But yeah, I think this is going to be it for this small gold mine on top of this ridge in between the reward and the brown monster. Pretty cool. The tramway, it's pretty rad to see. Still had the winch up there. Some cool geology. Epic views like always. And got a little bit of elevated radiation, which was cool to see. I gotta head out to Colorado and hang out with the atomic chemist, get in some uranium mines, really get some readings. Maybe in a few months. But yeah, hope you guys dug this short little adventure here. And like always, love your adventure, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.